there's one guy standing in front of his door, douses it with gasoline and pours it under the crack of the door. And it's crazy because Rashad, you know what's going on with Frank Head, right? He still think he's hallucinating.
Yeah.
He's just sitting there, standing there like what? And he sees, next thing you know, a fire is lit, is coming towards him. When that fire get on his legs, he like, oh, I know what this is. Ladies and gentlemen, this was possibly the worst thing this woman could have ever done. I don't care what type of army she had. Of
Hey,
not even
it's
like,
on it. It's on it.
yes,
They
yes, Rashad.
they quite metaphorically and literally lit a fire under him.
Very good, Rashad. I wanted to think of that, but you did. I salute you.
Hey, what's up? It's Rashad Antonio. We are the MCU Collective Punisher, which I think isn't a correct title for that. All spoilers.
Forever killer.
State killer.
This nigga.
Oh my God. Yo, gotta talk about the thing to talk about the thing, man. If you haven't, man, subscribe, stop playing. Our goal is still 10K. Just
Yeah.
join the team, man. I mean, we're having fun. Yes, man. On all the things. But seriously, Tony,
hmm
what were your expectations before you even watched this? Or did you have any?
Okay. I I really didn't have any expectations because when this came up, and even up until last week, I was like, wait a minute, is this a miniseries? Or is this gonna be like a one-shot movie? A movie. And I said, well, it's not quite a movie. It's like one long, and not even long, one episode or something just to be like, hey, we haven't had no Punisher content in a while. You know, we tantalize y'all with first season of Daredevil Born Again with the little sprinkle little Punisher scene. Let's let's go ahead and give them something. And you know what? We'll just call it a Marvel special presentation. That's all it
Yeah,
was. So you know me, I'm a fan of the Punisher.
absolutely.
I am a huge fan of John Bernthal
Let me tell you something.
as the Punisher. That man has he has owned that role. Like
He the
it's
Punisher.
he is the Punisher. You know, whenever years down the road they say, "Hey, we want to blow the dust off and bring the Punisher back into something," they whoever they find to play the Punisher has got some mighty, mighty, mighty big ass shoes to fill.
Absolutely.
So I went into this not really knowing what to expect, but last night before the show premiered, I said, let me just see how long this is. This is a movie like it's gonna be a minute. I said a minute. It's gonna be like an hour and 30 minutes or something. Nope. This is 51 minutes, and 51 minutes is basically like from the show starting until the final credits. This is really only like a 45-minute, 40-minute
Yeah.
show. And in the grand scheme of things, what does it show? Not a damn thing. Not a damn thing. And I'm not saying that as a bad thing or a good thing, but it's just like and I guess mainly because they was like, oh, it's coming off the heels of Daredevil Born Again. This show's gonna come off the heels of Daredevil Born Again. You're like, all right, cool. And then we see the tease, we see the Spider-Man teaser, and we see that he's in that, and you're like, okay, well maybe we will see, what our old boy Frankie's been up to since he got out in the post-credit scene of Daredevil Born Again season one. Don't see that, you know. Oh well, we saw him in the trailer for Spider-Man: Brand New Day. Spider-Man has to pop up in this. Spider-Man is very well aware in this trailer who Frank is. Like, go
Yep.
home, Frank. This is a straight up one shot special presentation dealing with Frank Castle. The only cameo they really gave us was old girl read Karen page, and
Very true.
he was hallucinating her ass. Tell me so. Oh, are you really here? So yeah.
Like, nah, you ain't that. Karen's not here.
Right.
And I kind of feel you on that.
Mm-hmm.
But they sneakily gave us an idea of what could be coming later on.
Mm-hmm.
And I do appreciate that. But I went into this kind of thinking that like, yeah, this is gonna be like a special presentation from Marvel. Look at the last components they did, like the Werewolf by Night,
Yeah.
and then the
The
holiday special one they did. Those are about
mhm.
the same amount of time.
Yeah, and that didn't think about it. Mm-hmm.
And the thing I think the thing I haven't heard anybody talk about is all of those specials, including this one, only really deals with like one day.
Uh-huh.
And this should have been called The Punisher, colon, is having a really bad day.
Yeah.
Because my nigga,
Uh-huh.
as soon as we see him, like what I mean, like this is one of the most like weirdly homoerotic, destructive, suicidal beginnings of a show I think I've ever seen. Your man
Yeah.
is in the room by himself. He is doing pull-ups off of a bar that he put it on the ceiling. He is drinking alcohol, downing pills, and also just just throwing up everything he
Mm-hmm.
put down. And he is, yo, this man is going through it.
Mm-hmm.
He's having visions. He's hallucinating.
Mm-hmm.
He is zombie walking through his city, which little Italy looks like damn Beirut in the 90s or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
This is no. I got one. That shit looking like New Amsterdam in The Wire. Shout out to
Yes.
Bubbles who was there.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Yeah.
bro,
Yeah.
what the hell is happening in New York, yo?
All right.
Because and I really want to know like time wise, like where is this?
Yes.
Because it's basically talking about how he killed all the crime families. And because there is no
There's a
because there's
power
no organized
vacuum.
crime, there's no organized order, which is
Yeah.
hilarious to me.
I,
Which is kind of
uh-huh.
how things can go sometimes because nobody's
Yeah.
if they're not running the streets, then who running the streets? It's just random vagrants and niggas and just goofy people just out here, you know.
Can can you talk about this real
Talk
quick?
about it.
So the show starts off where you see like all hell is breaking loose. Like it's looking like almost like how the Penguins neighborhood in the Penguin series was just all jacked up with it's
Bro.
looking like that. But people are trying to survive, and you got people just doing stuff, and you see what seems to be a homeless veteran with his dog, minding his own damn business, not bothering a damn soul. They get in front of the Nucci, what I'm saying, restaurant, whatever like that. And he's like, "Hey, got some food, baby." He like, and you can tell he loves his dog to death, and he's feeding his dog. And then next thing you know, you get some punk ass bitch just yells "ding dong" and boots this man in the face because he is
Like,
down.
yo.
And I was like, "What's really good here?" And proceeds to laugh, pick up his dog, because his dog is a little like
Little
what they call
lap
like a
dog.
lap dog or whatever, a little purse lap dog or whatever. He's walking away with it, and I'm like, "Yo, he's stealing this man dog." And you hear the man say, "Hey man, give me back my dog." And you hear the pain in his voice, like, "Yo, give me back my dog, give me back my dog." This asshole is just like, "Oh, here, pooch, poo, oh, look at the pooch, 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 pooch," with what seems to be a dump truck driving by, throws the dog in the path of the dump truck, and you basically know what happens. Dog versus dump truck. Dog ain't winning that.
Dog lost.
And you hear the man just let out this heartfelt scream, and he's crying, and these mofos are laughing. Because it won't just this one guy. It was probably about all
It's
five
four of
guys.
them. It was like four, it's
Four of
four
them.
of them. Yeah, yeah,
They're
yeah.
laughing, ha ha. And then they walk by, you know what I'm saying? Our man Bubbles from The Wire with his jump at him. And they're like, hey man, go on somewhere or whatever like that. Like it's like what
Bro, it's terrible.
was hard. Like I had to pause it right there. It was like, yo, what? Like, yo, he really did that to that man, dog. Yo, for real, that man ain't like, and he won't do. That man ain't do nothing. He won't like. He ain't go up to them and like, hey, let me get something. Let me
Nah,
hold
it was
something.
unprovoked.
Unprovoked completely. And you hear all hell is breaking loose, and then then you hear like what I guess is a news report playing in the background of like, hey, all hell has been going breaking loose in little Sicily in New York ever since the main crime family, the Nucci crime family, got taken out. The main one suspect is Frank Castle, the Punisher himself. And they were saying, like, there were, I'm saying, there are reports that the Nucci crime family had ties to the murder of the Punisher's family. But Frank, like you said, is in his room at his apartment tweaking. He's sitting there having conversations with some of his old like um
Marine
recon
Corps, yeah,
Marine
yeah.
Corps recon special ops guys that are dead. He's having conversations with them in their head, and they like it's like they hazing him too. Like, what's your next job, Marine? What's your mission, Marine? And he's like, no, and like you see them popping all over the place. And then the guy that's like the main one, hold on, I'm gonna get his name in a second. Excuse me. Curtis Hoyle.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hoyle,
Kurt,
who is
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
is like the black guy who's really like fucking with him, like, yeah, Frank, I'm here anytime you want to talk, baby. And this and that. And Frank, like, so he's just wigged out of his mind and he leaves. And when he's leaving, people know who the hell he is. That's the thing. The kid is like, Mom, and she says, "Yep, let's just go, honey," or whatever, because everyone knows that's Frank Castle. Everyone knows it's the Punisher because he's living off the grid right now. And what do we see? He gets outside, and you still see all anarchy. And it's funny to me because you could tell people who don't know who he is, and I'm like, y'all are really trying the wrong one right now. Y'all are really trying the wrong one. He goes to like a little coffee shop, get him a little swig, get him a
Just give
you
him a
know,
little,
uh,
little, little,
little
little
pick me
12-ounce coffee.
12-ounce coffee. He's just sitting there looking around and he sees like a little girl that's the shop owner's there and she waves at him and he just looks at her like, okay. And and the guy and the guy evidently knows who he is because Frank pulls out some money and he was like, hey man, it's on me,
It's
man.
on
Go
us, man. Because
go ahead.
and then we then also because there is just a degradation of the neighborhood. You also see the ills of that, like the person with the mental health illness
Yeah,
in the store, and and this is what I want to think I want to talk about real quick.
real quick before you go there, you know who he was
Yeah,
giving me
yeah.
vibes of?
Who's
My
that?
man from Do the Right Thing.
Oh my God,
Mookie.
man.
He was giving me, saying those vibes or whatever, but I'm sorry.
That's
Continue.
no,
Uh-huh.
that's really good. I wouldn't even think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This that's so funny when wrong. All right. So what I'm trying to say is the fact that you have this person with this clear mental
Mm-hmm.
illness, and the community, which is basically the shopkeep, the store owner,
Mm-hmm.
Bubbles, he understands the people in his community,
Mm-hmm.
even though the community has been decimated by
Mm-hmm.
crime and just the power vacuum, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. Just lawlessness going on
There
right
we
now.
go. Even though police is there, still lawless, and
They beat the
it's just
shit.
good to see how like even the community at large
Mm-hmm.
understands everybody's place in the community, and that's why like when like the knuckleheads
Yeah.
is upset, like they Yeah, like I mean, upset and messing with people in the streets, kind of like just being like a roving band of idiots. The
Mm-hmm.
community knows them and knows who they are. So even though there is this lawlessness, there's still a
Mm-hmm.
sense of community that is there that wants to be there. And
Mm-hmm.
also goes to show you that just because where you live, people say, "Oh, why don't you just leave?" Like, what you mean leave? I don't
Leave.
have the resources to be out.
Yeah.
Because even if you look at the apartment building that he was in, there's a lot of people in the apartment building that's probably been there for years. This New York
Mm-hmm.
is probably rent controlled.
Mm-hmm.
So like this is their community.
Yeah.
And Frank inserting himself in their community aside from us, look. Okay. All right, this is my real point.
Speak on it, baby.
Frank Castle is the reason why Little Italy is trash right now.
It's true. Yeah.
Even though he was trying to get revenge, which he got quite
Uh-huh.
successfully,
Uh-huh.
he's about 99% of the way. He's the reason. So imagine you the reason the community is trash for now, and also you live there too.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild to me. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's just because after he got out of the out of AVTF's control,
Mm-hmm.
at the end of season one of Daredevil Born Again, he says, "You know where I'm gonna go? The same place where I killed everybody and just chill. I'm just lay
Mm-hmm.
low. I'm gonna grow a beard
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna, wallow in my misery. I'm,
Yeah.
I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna lose my way,
Mm-hmm.
lose my path, lose my dead, kill my ethos of who I really am, who I espouse to be, and just wallow in my misery because the void of killing all these people never filled the void of my family not being here anymore. So
Mm-hmm.
like so yeah, so like this just is this all to me like a lot of that, especially the beginnings, how they set it up, is all about community or the lack
Mm-hmm.
thereof or the degradation of or how community tries to stick together even when it's trash. Like that's just was
Yeah.
the first part of the whole show.
Right. And from that point forward, we see Frank goes, he walks to the cemetery to where his wife, his daughter, and little Frank Jr. are all buried. And you see where over the years or whatever months or whatever times in past, he has left little trinkets, you know what I'm saying, on their gravestones or whatever. And he leaves one final trinket, which is a key. And I pretty much figured out at the end of this episode that key might have been the lock to where all the guns are.
It
His,
definitely was because when he
uh,
puts it up, he
uh,
locks it, takes it
uh-huh,
out, and then puts the
yeah,
Semper Fi flag over it. Yeah,
yeah.
you're right.
So he feels that his job is done. He's avenged his family, but he's like, he can't go on living. And he's having like, he pulls out his blicket, his piece, puts it to his head, and is ready to off himself right there on in front of the graves of his family. But he starts tweaking again and starts seeing his wife. And the wife is, I think she said something like, "This is your fault, but you can fix this," type stuff. His daughter, like, "Daddy, what are you doing?" And then his son is just swimming and looking. And then next thing you know, he actually sees his daughter in front of him. And he's like, "Baby, baby, baby," and talking. And she's like, talking to him like, "Daddy, what you doing now?" and stuff. And she disappears. And he's like, he does, what everyone loves, Frank Castle. No, 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 no. He wants his daughter back. And he's just like, he's over it. And for whatever reason, he doesn't off himself. This is when the show really gets to cooking. My man goes
Bro.
my man goes back to his apartment building. He's
Mind
about
you, there's been a like a Maybach 63 just following him around the entire
mm-hmm.
time.
Yeah. He's about to go in his apartment building. Right before he gets to where the door is. Frank Castle! He stops, like, who the call? Oh, somebody really want to call my name right now today? This is
Full
not the day.
government.
Full government. He turns around. It's a woman in a wheelchair with the black guy rolling her around is giving driving Miss Daisy. But that's another thing right there in itself. I said it, Rashad. Yeah. It is a woman. She doesn't introduce herself. She just says, I need your help. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, someone killed my family the way they killed yours. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe this woman is going to pull him out his funk and make him think. And she says, yeah, my entire family. It starts with my husband. Talks about her husband coming home from being with some woman, cheap perfume, second rate lipstick on his collar. Took him out. Next, it was my son, my oldest son. He was a good cop. He did what he was supposed to do. Blah. And you see flashbacks of this person, and the son is getting it in with some chick, like he's about to do some cungalingus, and the girl is looking, and she says, "Yeah, he was mutilated." I said, "Oh," and you see someone comes behind him with a knife and slits his throat or whatever, like that. Then there's my second son. You know, he had a family, and his family, and he was trying to do right and stuff like this, blah 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 blah, talking him up, and he gets shot down. And then I see like a trench coat. You don't see the person doing it, but you see like a trench coat. I said, hold on, wait a minute. And then she says, then we come to my prince, my little prince, my
Baby
youngest,
boy.
my baby boy, my youngest. And it's a scene of her in the back seat with the, and she was like, I don't care what anyone said about him. He didn't do those things to those kids and stuff like that. I said, oh, your little boy was a PDF file. Bet. And and he says, next thing you know, you just saw the person come, and you look and you see more of the trench coat, and you see a flash of the skull. I said, Frank Castle then killed this whole his family for this thing.
Bro,
And he
overtime,
he
methodically.
shot to the body, the driver, shot some more the car. It's just the whole time my prince was reassuring me, was I okay? The Punisher is Frank Castle proceeds to drag this man out of the car. Rest in peace to George Floyd. Put his knee on that man's neck and was just leaning on it and told his, are you okay, mom? And then he curve stomps him.
I said, "Oh my God."
I said,
I
oh, she don't
said,
want no help.
"Yo."
She want this nigga dead. So come to find out, this woman is Manucci. She is the mother. She's the matriarch of the Nucci family. Her husband got killed by Frank. Her three sons. She don't have nobody left. I think she has like the grandson. That's it. The grandson, of course, ain't get. That's the second boy or whatever. But she's like, yeah, you know, you killed my entire family. And she says, I know where you at. She says, I remember the time you killed my prince. It was 6:47. At 6:47, every known hitman, thug, or whatever in our employ or in the area is going to know this location. Good luck. They're going to find you, they're going to kill you, and they're going to kill whoever is in their way. Which means
The people in the community.
the people in the
Yeah.
community as well. Frank is looking. He doesn't say nothing to this woman at all. He's like, he's just like,
Mind you, the lady's in a wheelchair.
yeah, she's in a
The
wheelchair,
the
by the way.
lady electric wheelchairs herself up to Frank's face,
Yeah,
spits in this man's face,
spits in his face.
and then reads him his rights about everything
Yeah,
someone just described is what
uh
she's
huh.
saying as this old lady is in his face.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't say anything. This yo,
This man.
before I even get to that, right?
Uh huh.
I just want to say when he was at the gravesite,
Uh huh.
he has the wherewithal for the
Hmm.
first time in his life to say, "Hey, I can't keep doing this like this. I think I need some help."
Yes. Yes. He
And
said,
Frank Castle's like, "Yo,
yeah.
maybe therapy is a it is an option for me."
He said that to the hallucination of his boy, the black guy.
Yeah,
He was
Curtis.
like,
Yeah.
Curtis, he was like, I think I need some help. And he was like, of course you do. But like that. And then too, there was another vision they had each other when he was walking by the buses, remember? He was like, when, saying, when we meet God, what he says, what do you think he's gonna say? He's like, I know what he's gonna say to me. But you, my guy, you done some wild stuff, yo. What do you think
Yeah.
is gonna happen here? So after that lady tells him basically at 6:47, everyone is coming to kill him. She busts a U-turn in her electric wheelchair and motorizes on off. Frank looks and he's looking around and he calmly and peacefully walks into his apartment where he proceeds to trip balls again, Rashad. And he sees Karen Page and she's talking to him. She's telling him this is his fault or whatever, blah blah blah. You not done yet, telling him all this stuff, and he doesn't know if he's tripping or not. It's almost like Invincible when it was on Earth. He looked at her and said, "Are, are you really here?" And she's hugging him, saying, "I'm always here with you, Frank." And then she says, "Frank, what time is it?" Frank snaps out of it, sees no one is around. What he did, Rashad, he looked at that clock. What time is it on that clock, Rashad?
6:47.
Next thing you know, he just starts hearing banging and just terrorizing going on in the hallways. He looks out of his peephole and he sees like these thugs like break into the apartment across the hall, and that was the one where I told y'all the kid was like, "Hey, ain't that?" The mom was like, "Yep, just keep it moving," or whatever, and they're attacking her. But there's one guy standing in front of his door and douses it with gasoline and pours it under the crack of the door. And it's crazy because Rashad, you know what's going on with Frank Head, right? He still think he's hallucinating.
Yeah.
He's just sitting there, standing there like what? And he sees next thing you know, a fire is lit, is coming towards him. When that fire get on his legs, he like, oh, I know what this is. Ladies and gentlemen, this was possibly the worst thing this woman could have ever done. I don't care what type of army she had. Of
Hey,
not even
it's
like,
on it. It's on it.
yes,
They
yes, Rashad.
they quite metaphorically and literally lit a fire under him.
Very good, Rashad. I wanted to think of that, but you did. I salute you. Salute you on that. That man grabs a knife, and we hear the sweet sounds of the Punisher. Yeah! The Frank Castle war cry. This man busts through the door and proceeds to hack, shoot, steal guns. He took out about, what, 12 guys, Rashad, on that one floor. Took
Basically.
them all out. And then even they tried, took a bomb off the dude and threw it in his apartment, blew it up, boom. And Frank is like going, and he looks, and he goes out on the balcony, and what does he see? All hell breaking loose at the apartment complex. People are they are kicking in the doors. These thugs are harassing the people that live there, and they're doing nothing. And Frank looks over the balcony on the side to like an apartment next door and see like this old man getting attacked. He shoots Shotty to the back of the head on one of the guy, and then he jumps down and proceeds to just walk his way around because the apartment complex is almost like a horseshoe, and he's working his way all the way around, murking everybody, throwing them off the side of the daggone balcony. He gets back inside Rashad. What does he do? They realize he's like in the hallway. and they start shooting people shooting them up in the hallway. I'm talking, he's running out of bullets out the shotgun he has and just picking up the guns and stuff. He gets to the roof of the building he's in because these guys are coming after him, and he sits back and wait and know they're coming, and they're coming from two different ways. And Rashad, was beautiful. I mean, it
Yeah.
was a beautiful painting of destruction. He took them all out and everything. And at one point, like he was in trouble, he got thrown off, but he just went to the next level of another lower building roof, take them out, and he looks over and he sees Ma Noche. She's just sitting there in the middle of the street in her wheelchair, like seeing what's going on. In her mind, she's probably thinking, yeah, one of these dudes gonna get him eventually. Nah. He jumps off the side of the building, falls on a platform. Then he rolls off of that, falls off of. I thought he was done when he hit the bus. He boom, boom, fall off the bus onto the middle of the street.
Yeah.
He got on the street. That woman saw that man and saw him get up. What she do? She bust that U-turn and on that motorized rascal wheelchair and was getting back to that. But she was getting back to that car quick, fast, and in a hurry. And then he's just taking people out. And the next thing you know, he's hearing, "Get away from my store! Get away from my store! Get away from my store!" It's my guy who's trying to protect his store that gave him the coffee, and he's like torn. She's right there. The store is this way. I'ma kill this woman until he hears, "Daddy, no, Daddy, Daddy!" Here's a little girl crying and yelling, and he looks, and the last thing you see is that black guy that's with that mop lifting her up, putting her in that back seat, and they're in the car, and they pulling off, and he's like, "F this." He goes to that daggone corner store, Rashad.
Tony. Tony.
Diabolical,
Bro,
diabolical.
the way that he just the practicality of using what's around you, I think is always like a fun, sounds weird, a fun way to show murder because he's essentially using like what? The stuff that's in the shop.
Yeah, a pen.
Yo, he kind of took me back to Karen Hogarth or Death by a Thousand Cuts. So
Yes. Mm-hmm.
so he definitely could like that because remember that was the big dude we saw earlier in the episode. Like he made a quick cameo earlier on, and then he tries to run up in the joint
Mm-hmm.
to kill him. He protects Bubbles, his Bubbles' wife and and the girl. And by the because remember, like you said, like the connection
Mm-hmm.
was earlier, and the connection always is going to be the Punisher. His job is to help the people who don't essentially have a voice,
Mm-hmm.
or to help or to punish those who needs to be punished. And with these people who try to come and kill him and come mess up the neighborhood like he does, like that was the whole point. Because even the people that were coming to get him
Mm-hmm.
were the idiots, a lot of the idiots just in the
In the neighborhood.
neighborhood.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So essentially, he had to pay recompense for his sins
Mm-hmm.
via Ma Noche, and also for going back to for all intents and purposes the scene of the crime. Because like
Yeah.
I said earlier, like these people were just innocent bystanders. They had nothing to
Mm-hmm.
do with him. They probably was like, "Yo, just leave that nigga alone." He
Mm-hmm.
didn't do a lot of talking. Because even at the beginning, little kid was like, "Yo, I ain't know he came out of that apartment." You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then of course, I keep calling it man Bubbles.
Yeah.
Like the shopkeep and
Uh-huh.
his daughter, and she was like, you know, real
Eh.
recognize real,
Yeah,
and
real
he's like,
recognize real.
of course, his North Star is always going to be his family. So anytime he sees a kid in need, he's gonna
Mm-hmm.
automatically snap back to like, yo, I can't let another little kid die while I'm around, and I couldn't protect
The
mine.
shopkeeper name is Dre. We got, Dre.
Bubbles and his
Bubbles of his
wife,
bobbles.
Bubbles and his wife and his kid,
Yeah.
and the end of it, like she gives her like a little paper rose or whatever.
Because earlier she was painting, like making little like hearts and like a paper rose with like a pipe cleaner, looking like a stem and stuff.
Yeah.
And because she was hugging him, and he looked at her, and he's like, "Thank you." And they's like, she says, "Here, this is for you." And he looked at her head nod, and even it was a head nod of respect from, you know what I'm saying, shopkeeper and her. My man proceeds to go back to the grave site, and he's at the grave site, and he's clearing away all of the little stuff that he had left for his family there. And he talks to his daughter, and he says, basically, baby, my job is not done yet. And I said, oh my God. And he picks up that key. And the last thing we see, last scene of the episode of this show, there's like an older black couple, older black man, black woman, they're talking, and they're walking down the street. And the streets looks like it's been cleaned up.
Yeah, it looks a little bit better.
A little better. Anarchy isn't going on.
Yeah.
And we see that asshole from the beginning who killed that man's dog come up behind them old black people. Ding dong! Yeah, but Frank came on and boom, knocked him down, grabbed him, put a knife to his face, and you see the homeless man. And he's like, before you do it, that's my lid he got on. And it's a Marine Corps lid. And he takes it off and he gives it to him. And he said, that's not the only thing he took from me. Frank raised the eyebrow and looked. That man tried to run, threw that knife at that man's leg, pulled the gun out, just didn't wait to get up on him, just pulled the gun out, walked up to her, and bang, end of the show. Frank Castle is a menace to society. He is now the lord and ruler of that neighborhood.
Bro.
Manucci, ma'am, your tenure is up. I think you done really screwed up messing with this man. I don't know whether or not this is going to come to where there is going to be a show or something or whatnot. Does this add to the mythos of the MCU or the street level MCU stuff that we're trying to see? Not really, but
But
it just,
but
but
maybe.
it maybe,
But
but not
but
really, but
maybe.
maybe. But it shows you that Frank is a man dealing with severe demons in his mind, and he wants to do the right thing, and he's willing to do the right thing at any cost. Frank
Yeah.
Castle, John Bernthal, Bravo,
Yeah,
Punisher,
man.
one
Di-
last kill.
Ditto to all that. Like, and
Yeah.
and I think regardless if this does set up to the next thing or not, like
Mm-hmm.
it's such a well like self-contained story.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very like it's get it's kind of given like what was that John Wick 4?
It is giving John Wick
Like
4. Yeah,
it's a
uh-huh.
lot of that, or like like just a pinch of the raid. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You ever seen the raid?
I haven't seen it, but
Oh
that's
my Tony,
gotcha. The raid.
Tony.
Okay.
Whenever you get a chance, got to check out the raid.
Okay.
That's the one of the movies that like that we gotta. That's why I feel like I gotta go back to the ethos of the channel. Like, do you deep on further review? Go back to watch the old stuff. The raid is one of those old joints that like we gotta talk about because it's like
Mm-hmm.
it's set up so many. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
the raid as well, and him having to be the impossible white man and really just wreck shop, and now he's going back to the trajectory that he should have always been on.
Mm-hmm.
And whether he goes to therapy or not, as many people told me on threads last night, killing is his therapy. Glad he's
Yeah.
getting back to doing what he does.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And man, like it just was a good 45, 50 minutes of just a character that we all know and love. And shout out to him. I forgot who the director was. I forgot their name,
Mm-hmm.
but both of them the wrote
Yes.
that joint. So
Yes.
that was like a lot of just John
Ronaldo
Bernthal.
Marcus Green.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was and that was a lot of John Bernthal just saying,
what
"Hey man, I got
what
an
I
idea, trying to
appreciate
get it out."
about what I appreciate about this, especially with John Bernthal has done with this character what Ryan Reynolds has done with Deadpool. They're taking ownership of it. Ryan
Yeah,
Reynolds is like he's the one that came up with the Deadpool and all this stuff and everything that we see with Deadpool is. And John Bernthal's doing the same thing with this character here in the Punisher, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It this what it did. It left me wanting more,
which which is the
which is a
best
good,
thing. This
which is a good
which is
thing.
what you if you walk away from something, it's like, nah, I think I'm cool with that for now. Nah,
Yeah,
you
no.
should like now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the reason I want the Spider-Man shirt because I'm want to see him. Even though he's probably not gonna have a huge role in Spider-Man, I'm still very curious about how they know each other, how they meet,
Yeah.
how they come into the same world and all of
Mm-hmm.
that. Because it's very because I wonder where like Spider-Man's gonna be living. Not sure if it's gonna be in Queens or not. Because you got the new
Yeah.
apartment at the end of No Way Home.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just really it's very interesting, man. Like I was about to say something, bro. I forgot. No, man, it's
So.
but yeah, it's very interesting for them to actually do it like this.
Mm-hmm.
And this is also the power of Marvel and knowing that like this could also still be a viable option because for a minute we thought we wasn't even going to do special presentations anymore because they just kind of
Mm-hmm.
stopped doing them. But
Yeah.
I think this is just a really smart way to say, hey, here's a character y'all love. Let's give him a little bit of time. It's not an episode, but like we want to have like a full story arc and boom, that's it.
That's
And
it.
we may see him again later or not.
Yeah.
So like that's just it's yeah, man. I'm very happy with this joint, yo.
Indeed. That's all I got, man.
That's 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 all I got too. Um, we appreciate y'all.
What's next on our agenda?
That's a good question. Um,
Well, this week is the penultimate episode of the series finale of The Boys. Next week is going to be the finale.
yeah, so we'll have y'all review like next weekend,
Next
whatever.
weekend.
Yeah,
Next weekend.
that this weekend is um Gundam Hathaway, the something I forgot was this is a long ass title for that Gundam show. That's actually gonna be in the movies. I'm gonna try to sync with it tomorrow or
Uh-huh.
Friday. So yeah, that's gonna be a thing. I feel like there's a
And
movie coming out.
in about 2 weeks, Mando versus Grogu. I said Mando versus Jesus.
Man, they're not fighting.
Mando and Grogu.
Yeah,
Grogu is coming. I said Grogu, Jesus, not Gogu. But Grogu is getting ready to come out soon. Um
that's May 22nd. So yeah.
22nd. So yes, I mean we got stuff coming up, man. And then of course, leading up into once again me and Rashad's personal baby. Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, season 3, June
Dance to the
21st.
Dragons.
That's it. Yeah, Dance of the Dragons is actually coming this time, along with a little bit after that. What was for the Odysseys first, if I'm not mistaken?
Odyssey.
Uh huh.
It's the 12th, I believe,
I
of
believe the
July.
12th. And then a couple of weeks after that, Spider Man
Spider-Man.
Brand New Day.
Yeah,
Also,
man.
I will be looking at, Vampire Lestat. I believe that comes out this weekend. I cannot interview with the Vampire series on AMC. I cannot wait to see how they put that together. But yeah, man, I mean, it is
Good
what it
stuff,
is.
man. On my downtime, been watching Gotcha Yakuta. It's anime.
Okay.
Very interesting concept. Been liking it so far. It came out like last year, but I was late to it. But yeah, that's other than that, man.
That's it.
Subscribe. Stop playing.
Like
Share
and
with your
share.
people.
Here we go.
Comment.
Mm-hmm.
I respond to them comments.
Mm-hmm.
So don't say so talk to me nice.
And I'll say something every once in a while if I see something like.
Till next time.